Hi, my name is Lauren Sanders Fleming. Since my trip back to India in December 2012, Indian culture is now everything to me. Being only 16 years old, I have experienced so much compared to what other teens my age can say. I was born in Calcutta, India, weighing only 4 pounds at birth and spending the first 2 weeks of my life in intensive care at the International Mission of Hope in Calcutta, India. I have seen poverty that is unimaginable, and I have no remembrance of my life in India. I do not know my birth parents, and I do not know if I have any biological siblings. Something that went through my mind when I was visiting Calcutta was, there are so many people, and I started wondering, what would happen if I suddenly ran into someone who looked similar to me, and later found out that they were my biological parents? I know it will be impossible to know for sure, and that there is a slim chance of me ever being reconnected with my biological parents. My life in India may not have been the best at the start, but visiting India has opened up my eyes to the beauty of my home country, and it means everything to me now. Living in America for the entirety of my life, I was never able to really connect with the Indian culture. I currently live in a small suburban town with a majority of the population a white race. There are some other adopted children, however, that live in my community, and I also have a sister who was adopted from an orphanage in Calcutta, India, called Navajivan. Her name is Kiran. I am also in a dance school called Kalanjali School of Dance, which is classical Indian dance. My parents enrolled me in the school when I started the first grade so that I'd be able to have Indian adult role models and be around the Indian community in Wisconsin. I didn't think of dance as an exciting activity at the beginning and all the years that I have been doing it until my trip to India came around. The trip was my aha moment, showing me that the culture really is important and that I would be missing a lot if I didn't keep the Indian culture with me. Wisconsin may not have the smell of incense, people going to work on a camel, women carrying heaps of bananas on their heads, monkeys scoping the perimeter for shiny objects on top of buildings, or even a billion people like India does. But I have learned to love the Indian community here, and I am grateful that I have kept up my dance, and now I am enjoying it even more. Because if I just quit, I wouldn't just lose friends, but an entire community. I may not be able to connect to my biological family, but there is one person that I met in India who I can now call part of my family. Her name is Roshan Ara. Roshan was my Masi, which is a primary caregiver, when I was living at the International Mission of Hope. She grew up in a poor family in Calcutta. She didn't, though, attend school, but dropped out her 9th grade year to work with children. She is currently 45 years old and still takes care of children today, which she has been doing for over 31 years. She is the only person that really remembered me. She still calls me by the name that the orphanage gave me, Malika, and calls me her daughter. She is who inspires me, and I can call her my hero. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't feel the way I feel about my culture. She now means the world to me. Not being able to see her all the time makes me feel that I need to stay close to the Indian culture and try to connect more to a culture that I thought in the beginning wasn't really important. In the future, I'd like to come even closer to my culture and go back to India to volunteer at local orphanages and shelters for street children in Calcutta, India, and that is just what I'm going to do. I plan to go to India for about a month during summer of 2015, not just to go help out at shelters and hopefully volunteer at Navajivan, my sister's orphanage, but also to see Roshan again, because I do not know the next time I will get the chance to see her. I feel the best way to connect to my culture is to help out the people that are now in the position that I could have been in if I was still living in India today. That is why I believe that keeping Indian culture in my life is important, and I'd be nothing without it.